I'm Joanna. Welcome to a new episode of Between the Sheets and introducing my mom, the woman who started it all, the one I talk about all the time, Peggy Byron.
Hello.
Today, as I promised, we're going to be going through the Olifai Linen Handbook. And what we wanted to talk about today is how it all began. So if you would all turn to page 8 of your handbooks, we will have a little history lesson. In 1981, this woman opened the first boutique Oli in Montreal on Saint-Denis. It was 700 square feet. And I remember, no exaggeration, people lined up outside the door to get into that teeny-weeny little store to buy what was at the time probably the very first cotton sheets in North America, because before then it was like polyester city. So I'm going to interview my mom and let her tell you all about how she began, why she began. So Mom, first question, why linens? Why you were 39 years old, you'd been a stay-at-home mom, and you decided you were going to go out and open your own store. Why linens?
Well, it really all started when I went out shopping for sheets for your bed when you were 3 years old. And
that was in the late 80s.
And on the market at that time, all there was is muslin, and it was rough and it was stiff. It was like cardboard. I didn't want my daughter
or
sleeping on
polyester.
that. Or polyester, but even that was treated and cardboardy. So there were no alternatives in Canada that I could find. I finally located one small shop in Montreal, a little European shop, where I bought a set of linens.
Ladies and gentlemen, behold, these are my sheets from my first bed out of the crib. Let's just say sometime in the 70s. And this is the condition they are in. This is 30-some plus years. And this is why when we talk about authentic quality, this is what we mean. 30 plus years, and look at it. It's indescribably beautiful.
Yeah. And then at the time I was going to Europe, so I had experienced wonderful cotton linens and duvets and down pillows and everything we didn't have here. I experienced in Europe, and I thought, this has to come to North America. It wasn't available in the US, it wasn't available in Canada, and I thought, I have to be the one to bring it to Canada.
So fast forward, the 700 square foot store becomes eventually a 5,000 square foot store, an outlet, and a factory where you started importing fabric from Italy.
There was no, good quality cotton available in North America, so we had to produce our own because we couldn't find enough. In fact, the American mills there were a few making poly cotton, which was quite nice at the time. But they couldn't stock us. We were selling too much. Like every Monday we'd call and say, okay, send us everything you have. And eventually we had to go to Europe, get our own fabric, and start manufacturing. There was such a need for this quality of bedding.
Which led to opening the very same factory in Montreal that we have with almost all the same sewers. We're at like 25, 30 years. The other thing I want to ask you is because we did move to Toronto. You moved to Toronto, and that's when I joined the company. It was 1996, 97. We opened on Mount Pleasant. And I remember I was there. We really began educating people the same way you had done in Montreal about why you would invest in quality. But over the years, my experience, and I think the public would agree, is that somehow the Olifai Linen's name and the idea of higher thread count sheets or good quality became associated with exclusive and shishi-poo-poo and only for the, wealthy and something that was a luxury.
My intention has always been to introduce comfortable, wonderful, change your life, sleep products to everyone, and not only to people with a lot of money, but everyone, the nurse, the store clerk, anyone. Anyone can buy one good set of sheets at some time in their life, and over a 20-year period, it more than pays for itself. It's an investment for the future, the way we've always invested in china and silver. Now we're going to linens.
I mean, and this is a perfect example. This is like 30 plus years old, and it's magnificent, and that's what we're doing.
It's an investment. And especially if you don't have a lot of money, that's the way.
Why buy something you're going to
Yeah.
replace every single year? Okay, one last question, and I think this will surprise people. What's your favorite? We have at the store 220, 410, 600, 800, 1000. We do have a wide, and of course we do sell high-end, very luxury stuff, but we also have, you know, real essentials too. So of all of those, honestly, what is your absolute favorite?
I could bring home a set of 1,000 thread count sheets today, but my preference is our 220, which is crisp. I love getting into that crispy feeling, and after lots of washings, like over at least 6 months, it becomes like marshmallows, but it retains its density and its crispness, and I absolutely adore it.
And I mean, between, like, let's say it's a double bed or a queen bed, you're really looking at about $275 to $330, depending, for the complete set, flat, fitted parquets. I mean, that's what these jeans were $330, and that, I mean, and I'm not alone. And women have tons and tons of jeans, and this is like without batting an eyelash. And yet, to spend $300 on a complete set of Egyptian cotton woven in Italy, sewn in Montreal.
Just a few meals in restaurants, a weekend away, and this is so long term. You know, the comfort. You sleep a third of your life.
There you have it, folks. The founder of Oli Fine Linens. You've heard it from her. She knows what she's talking about. She's been doing this since 1981. We're at 31 years in business now. So I'm really glad we had this chance to talk to my mommy. We look alike, don't we? And we'll see you next time on Between the Sheets.
Bye.
Or as my mom calls it, In Between the Sheets.